Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today I'm going to be reviewing the LEGO Architecture Skyline set of San Francisco. Now this is one of many Skyline sets in the architecture line, and it's one of the largest, though not quite the largest. I still think it is my favorite. Not like I've got any bias being from the San Francisco Bay Area or anything. I actually just do think it looks better than the other Skyline sets in general. It is a $50 set, or $49.99. It's $44.99 in pounds, and also $49.99 in euro. So that's actually pretty expected for an architecture set. It's actually not the most expensive. I think the Skyline set for New York that has only a few more pieces really goes for $60. This has 565 pieces, so you can do whatever kind of math you want to do with part to price ratio. Generally speaking, for an architecture line set, this is priced accordingly, I would say. Anyways, there's a ton of really fun little features, and I think I'm going to do some nice little zoom ups here because there's some fun things to notice at closer detail. But generally speaking, this set looks really nice. It looks very good. Let's move to the first one, and I think probably one of the more iconic pieces of San Francisco architecture. So starting off right in the corner, we've got the painted ladies. These are those very colorful old style Victorian houses that technically can be seen in several parts of the city, though there is one hill in particular that is pretty well known, probably made even more well known, having been used in the famous Mrs. Doubtfire movie with Robin Williams. Anyways, I do like the little pointed pieces. That's a relatively new part used as the rooftop there. Absolutely perfect for rooftop pieces of a micro build. I think they first came out in the Harry Potter sets, if I'm not mistaken. That's a great little hillside. You can see that little piece of a dark red tile that is a trolley car, if I'm not mistaken. Very good, and I'm hanging out here at the bottom just a little bit, not really going in order necessarily. I'm going to move along the bottom here. This is Coit Tower. Let me turn that down a little bit. There you go, you can see the definition a little better. That's also a printed piece, probably used, also you can see them for windows over there. These are little printed 1x1 plate pieces, probably used as eyes in other sets if I had to take a guess, but they work great as doorways or windows. I like that little flower piece is used on top of Coit Tower. And then this here is Fort Point. That is a brick built fort. It is actually made of bricks in real life, old sort of browned out bricks, and not just Lego bricks. But yeah, it hangs out underneath the San Francisco side of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was used 100, 200 years ago for defense, I think. I'm not much of an historian, but let's move on to some of the larger builds. Along the edge here, we have 555 California Street, and if you have been in the Bay Area for a long time, I feel like a lot of people knew this as the Bank of America building or the Bank of America Center, which it was for a very long time. I don't even know when it switched. When it said 555 California Street, I was actually a little bit confused. But that is, of course, the address of this building. It's kind of the focal point of the financial district, sort of downtown, or at least it's one of the focal points. And then one right next to it, in fact, is the Transamerica Pyramid. It's the Pyramid Building. That's what people call it. I think from anywhere, not just locals or anything. That's just what they call it. It's a great little building technique. These are those fun little soft tail pieces, and they're built on either side here. You have a little bit of the underside of those tiles popping through, but nothing that feels like this isn't nothing that feels like this would be an incomplete build. I really do like the way they've knocked out the shape for the Transamerica Pyramid. Sorry if I'm blowing out the white a little bit, but I just want to have that Salesforce Tower pop. That is the more smooth kind of gray building here. It's rounded sort of all the way around. It's a really fun little technique to get that round shape. We use a lot of those newish 1x2 sloped bricks that just, I mean, it's a perfectly smooth look, I feel like, that goes all the way around. This is, I think, the newest building, the newest of the large buildings at least, to hit the San Francisco skyline. And personally, I think it looks pretty darn good. But guess what? We are now at, I think, the main bit. This is really what San Francisco, I feel like, is known for the most. It's probably the bridge first, and then the Transamerica Pyramid second, and then unless you know a lot more about the city, it's a little bit harder to catch maybe some of the other iconic details. But we've got the Golden Gate Bridge, and they did some really interesting things here. They didn't make the bridge facing. These pieces would normally be on both sides. These vertical sides, of course, would be on either end of the bridge, but they flattened it out to make it look much cooler as a display piece, and I think that was a really successful look. They did a couple of things, though, to make it feel like the bridge is moving away from you. Obviously, this is taller than that, so it gives the idea that the bridge is moving away, but then you can also see that these flexi tubes in dark red, possibly for the first time in dark red, I'm not entirely sure about that, but the flexi tubes are on the inside here. They go behind, and then they are on the front there, and it kind of gives you the idea that you're moving away. There's a little bit more depth to it. Also, this is built on one side. It's built on the inside of the bridge, the inside of the straightaway at least, and this is built on the outside of the straightaway. So there's some fun ideas here thrown in for the construction of the bridge, and I think, it's all very clever, and it gives the desired effect that the designers really wanted to have all around. And moving down the top, you can see the construction is relatively simple through and through, the way they kind of got this bridge to come together. I will say there is a little bit of tension pushing those tile pieces, those dark red tile pieces, sort of away from each other a little bit, especially because of of the flexi tube pieces. These things, there is a bit of tension when they're clipped in, and you just kind of have to bend them a bit before they really want to stay in place, because sometimes the sides of the tower do want to pop away from each other ever so slightly. I also like that they even built up that nice, very, very sharp bit of coastline just for this, just on the edge, but that does actually look pretty good. Built up here. And then now we're taking a look at the last of the builds, the last of the iconic bits of the building. This is Alcatraz Island. I believe Al Capone had some time here. This is that prison island. They made the movie The Rock, which was actually pretty fun to watch. I love the printed pieces. You can see all the little cell windows. I don't know what that is. It might be a watchtower. I have a feeling that's a water tower, or maybe I'm mixing the two up. Great though. I actually did do that Alcatraz tour that is basically reserved. Sorry, I'm just flipping it around. It's basically reserved for tourists, but I enjoyed it. So there it is. There's Alcatraz Island, and I think we just went through the entire architecture set. So, anyways, this is, I think, probably one of the more fun and better looking of the Skyline sets from the architecture line. There's the color, the bridge is so different and unique, and I think very, very iconic, of course, but it just breaks up the look of the Skyline so vividly compared to what you might see from, let's say, the Berlin Skyline or the Venice Skyline. Some of the more iconic builds that went into those don't really look quite as good. I think just as a total piece, the way everything really comes together for the San Francisco Skyline. This set was sent to us, by the way, from the LEGO group, so thanks a lot, guys, for sending this set over to us to do a review. This is probably going to end up, definitely going to end up on one of our more direct little areas for displaying things, just because of where we're from, and I think it just looks really good. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. Let me know what you think about this Skyline set, though I have a feeling most people are going to agree that this one is pretty darn solid. All right, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault. Hey everybody, wanted to pop in very quickly, let you know that we've got a Lego web store, www.brickvault.toys, where we sell these step-by-step instructions for some incredibly awesome Lego MOCs. The revenue from the web store helps support us here at the channel, as well as the designers that build these amazing Lego designs. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Check us out at www.brickvault.toys, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.